learning, we're going to be focusing on the medieval period. And the best place to start is castles. What I'd like you to do is close your eyes and imagine a castle. What do you see? What does a castle look like to you? What's around the castle? Who lives inside the castle? What can you see? Okay, so now what I'd like you to do is open your eyes and we're going to create a drawing to start off with. So grab a piece of paper and use your own imagination to draw a castle. Don't copy a picture of one, just use what you imagine. So I'm going to grab my pen, and when I think of a castle, the first thing I think of are these shapes. They look like squares and they just go around like this. And it seems to be on a tall tower. It looks a little bit like a fork. So that's the first thing I think of. I also see these windows in my castle, but they're really thin, like small rectangles. In my castle, there is a huge brick wall or stone wall. So I'm going to draw that. They're my stones. And also going all the way around my castle is something that looks a little bit like a river. So I'm going to draw that now. That's my river going all the way around the edge. And obviously you've got to be able to get into the castle. So I'm going to draw a door, but it's got to be quite enormous. It's going to look really strong. So I'm going to put some bars on it. Okay, that's my castle. Does your castle look similar to mine? Okay. Do you have anything on there that I've forgotten to include? Or is there anything that I've drawn which you didn't think of? So now what we've got to do is actually look at a diagram of a castle and figure out what the different parts are. Here is an example of a castle. Not all castles look exactly the same, but a lot of them do have these key features. They have battlements, which are these ridges, similar to the ones I drew in my picture. A moat, which is the river that goes all the way around the edge. Arrow loops. They're these small rectangular windows, similar to the ones that I drew in my diagram. You've got the towers, which you can see here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 towers in this castle. You've got the barbican, which is this huge room right at the front. We've got a drawbridge, which goes up and down. A portcullis, which is this door with these huge iron bars on. And finally, we've got this courtyard in the middle called a bailey. Take a moment to have a look at this picture of a castle, and I want you to think, why was it built this way? Why did the people who created castles decide to create a moat around the edge? Or why did they design a drawbridge rather than just have a regular bridge? Why did it need to move? How come the windows were so small, and why are they called arrow loops? I want you to take a moment to predict what you think the different parts of the castle are for. Pause the video and see if you can predict what the different features are for. Okay, so now it's time to figure out whether we were correct. And the only way we can do that is through research. Research is a really important historical skill to have because that's the only way we can learn. Now, when we do research, it's important that our historical sources are accurate because sometimes you might go on the internet and look for something and it might give you incorrect information. So the best thing to do when you're carrying out historical research is double check your sources. That means when you find a website that you think looks really good and you get all the information from it, have a look on another website and see if they have the same information. That's a good way to check your historical sources are accurate. Okay, now let's get to the research. You could use internet, you could use the books, you can record your research as a poster or as a report, and remember to double check those historical sources. If you're struggling to find a good historical source, Pause the video and use this information. I collected this from a book and it's very accurate. You can see that all of the facts here have been organised into bullet points, and it tells you about the different parts of a castle. It even gives you features that were not included in our diagram. What I would like you to do is create your own diagram of a castle. I'd like you to label it and then include some facts about the different features. Send me your learning on Class Dojo, and maybe your learning will make it in the next newsletter. Leave a like on this video so that I know you want to carry on with our castle series. Best of luck.